right, today we're going to look at input and output tables. So what an input-output table is it gives you this rule, like what's in this purple box here, y equals 2x, so an equation, and you are creating the x's and the y's for it. So you're picking x's and y's that make sense with it. Okay, so for this first one, since we have 2x, I'm just going to pick 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and that'll give us what we need. Okay, now to figure out what the y value is, so the input is your x value, it's what you're putting in here, okay? Your output is your y value, okay? So your input is what you're putting in here instead of your x, and your output is what you get as your answer. So I put here we have the process. So the process is what we're doing. So the process is we're substituting in for x. So in this first one, we're saying that the input, the x, is 0. So instead of x, I'm going to put 0 in here. Okay, so 2 times 0, and 2 times 0 is 0. Okay, for the next one, again, I'm going to substitute in for x. So 2 times, instead of x, I'm going to put what x is equal to, and x is equal to 1. So 2 times 1, and 2 times 1 is equal to our y, which is 2 times 1 is 2. Okay, and we're going to keep going. So 2 times, this time, our x is equal to 2, and 2 times 2 is 4. Okay, this time you guys are going to have to write it. So 2, and then instead of 2, instead of x, we're going to put what our x value is, which is 3. So 2 times 3, and 2 times 3 is 6. And then the last one on here, we're going to do 2 times our x value, which our x value this time is 4. So we have 2 times 4, and 2 times 4 is 8. Okay. So that completes our first table. So now we have all of our x values and all of our y values. Okay. Eventually tomorrow you guys are going to be able to graph these values. So that's why we need to end up with an x value and a y value. Okay. So looking at this next one is adding. So we're going to do the same thing. Okay. When you guys are making these input-output tables, you can pick whatever numbers you want. Okay. For me, if I can, I'm going to pick the smaller numbers because they're easier to work with. So again, I'm going to pick 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, the same numbers we had last time. Okay, and we're going to fill it in. So instead of x, we're going to put our x value in this blank right here. So our x value is 0, and 0 plus 7 is going to give us an output of 7. Okay, now we have 1. So instead of x, we're going to put 1. So 1 plus 7 is 8. Okay, now we're going to fill it in. We're going to put 2 plus 7. 2 plus 7 is 9. Okay, hopefully you're catching on by now. So we're going to fill in 3 plus 7 because x is equal to 3. 3 plus 7 is 10. And for the last one here, we're going to do 4 plus 7. And 4 plus 7 is equal to 11. So again, we have all of our x values and then all of our y values here. Okay, the last one is a little bit trickier because it is dividing. So it says y equals x divided by 4. That's what that symbol means, divided by 4. So I'm going to pick numbers that can be divided by 4 very easily. So we can pick 0. I'm going to pick 4, 8, 12, and 16. So I just picked all multiples of 4. Because if I have a multiple of 4, that means I'm going to be able to divide it by 4 very easily, and I'm not going to get any decimals or fractions as my answer. That's why I picked those numbers. So you have to kind of think about the numbers that you're picking sometimes. Okay, again, we're going to replace the x with whatever our x value is. So in this first one, we're going to replace it with a 0. So we have 0 divided by 4. Well, 0 divided by anything is 0. Okay. Our next one, we're going to replace the x with a 4. So we have 4 divided by 4. And 4 divided by 4 is 1. Okay. Our next one, we're going to replace the x with an 8. So we have 8 divided by 4. And 8 divided by 4 is 4. Okay. We're going to keep going. 12 divided by 4. 12 divided by 4 is equal to 3. And 8 divided by 4 is definitely equal to 2. Sorry, I don't know where my brain is right now. And our last one, we have 16 divided by 4. And 16 divided by 4 is equal to 4. Sorry, guys, sometimes my brain just doesn't want to do what I want it to do. Okay, so that is the process of creating an input-output table. Now, you don't always need this process column here. This process column here, this one in the middle, is just kind of to help us to make sure we're doing the right thing. So as we're learning how to do it, it's a good thing to use. But once you get good at it, you don't necessarily need it anymore. All right, so now make sure you guys go and check for your assignment for today.